Before we embark on this gentle journey back in time, let us pause to appreciate the quietness of the night, the comforting weight of the blanket around your shoulders, and the soft murmur of this narration to guide you into sleep. Tonight, we begin our exploration of the rich, intricate, and often overlooked history of the Native American peoples, a story woven across the vast tapestry of North America for thousands of years. Before the arrival of European settlers, indigenous peoples lived in deep harmony with the land, shaping it as much as it shaped them. The world they inhabited was a patchwork of landscapes, sweeping plains that seemed to stretch beyond the horizon, dense forests teeming with life, winding rivers that carved gentle paths through fertile valleys, and high, rugged mountains whose snowy peaks caught the first light of dawn. Each environment nurtured a distinct culture with its own customs, beliefs, and rhythms of life, yet they all shared a profound respect for the natural world, understanding that the earth was not merely a resource to be exploited, but a living, breathing relative to be cherished. In this video, our focus will be on the gentle unraveling of these daily lives, not the battles and tragedies that followed European contact, though those deserve their own telling, but rather the simple, sometimes monotonous, sometimes awe-inspiring cycles of living that marked Native American life for centuries. Our aim is not to sensationalize or dramatize, but to invite you to imagine as the flickering fire of the past illuminates the sleeping forests of memory, what it might be like to spend just one day, and perhaps not even survive it, in the shoes of those who lived entirely at one with the land. For as much as their world was beautiful, it was also demanding. Every dawn brought the promise of both abundance and hardship, and each person, young and old, carried their own responsibilities to the tribe, knowing that survival was always a communal effort. As you listen, let the calm descriptions ease you into dreams. Picture the gentle hush of snow on a winter's morning, or the dry rustle of prairie grass beneath a summer sky. Feel the worn leather of moccasins against the earth, the bite of cold river water on bare feet, the crackle of a fire and the sweet smell of sage smoke drifting up to the stars. Let each detail become a stepping stone across the stream of history, so that even as sleep claims you, your mind drifts deeper into the world of these resilient, resourceful, and deeply spiritual peoples. We will explore the daily rituals that tied them to the seasons and the land, the ingenious methods they used to provide for themselves in a world without grocery stores or electric lights, and the stories they shared by firelight that have echoed across centuries. Tonight, your task is simple: to drift along these quiet currents of memory and imagine, for just a moment, the strength it would take to rise with the sun in a world that offered no guarantees of comfort or safety, and the joy that could be found in simple pleasures: a warm meal, a familiar song, the laughter of children playing in the dust. We hope this journey brings you peace and perhaps a touch of wonder as you close your eyes and let your breathing slow. In these next 2 hours, let the weight of modern life slip away and find yourself among the cedar-scented forests and endless skies of the past, where each new day was a lesson in endurance, community, and balance with the world around you. So, take a deep breath and sink deeper into your pillow as we begin our story of why you wouldn't last a day with the Native Americans. Not because their world was harsh and unforgiving alone, but because it required a deep, unwavering connection to every living thing. A connection we have largely forgotten, And so, with a final whisper of wind through pine, let us step together into this ancient world. As you close your eyes and drift deeper into the slow rhythm of the night, let your mind wander across the endless landscapes that Native American tribes once called home. A patchwork of prairies, woodlands, deserts, and river valleys that stretched from the icy tundra of the far north to the warm, humid bayous of the south. This was a land of breathtaking diversity, where each ecosystem offered both blessings and challenges, demanding adaptability and respect in equal measure. The people who lived here did not see themselves as separate from these environments, but as an integral part of them, their lives shaped by the gentle cycles of the seasons and the patient turning of the earth beneath their feet. In the dense forests of the Northeast, tribes like the Iroquois and the Algonquin moved lightly among the towering maples and ancient oaks, gathering berries and nuts in the dappled sunlight, fishing in clear streams where the water whispered over smooth stones, and tending small patches of corn, beans, and squash that would sustain them through the long, snowy winters. Farther west, across the rolling grasslands of the Great Plains, the Lakota and Cheyenne followed the great buffalo herds, moving with the animals as they thundered across the horizon, the ground shaking beneath the weight of life itself. In the dry, sun-baked deserts of the Southwest, the Hopi and the Navajo coaxed green life from red earth, building intricate irrigation systems to bring precious water to their fields and crafting homes from adobe that glowed like warm embers in the evening light. High in the rugged mountains, the Shoshone and the Ute moved with the seasons, gathering roots and hunting game in the cool shadows of pine forests, their lives a quiet testament to the enduring strength of those who know how to listen to the wind and the trees. Each of these landscapes held its own mysteries and teachings, and each tribe understood that survival was a matter of harmony, not conquest. They read the signs of the changing weather in the flight of birds and the shape of clouds, knew the stories hidden in the shape of a riverbank or the scent of rain on dry earth, and taught their children that the land was not a thing to be owned, but a living presence to be honored and cared for. Their languages were filled with words for the different kinds of snow, the songs of birds at dawn, the colors of the sunset, 1,000 small details that painted a picture of the world as a place of constant wonder and deep responsibility. For those of us today, wrapped in our soft blankets and climate-controlled homes, it is hard to imagine the raw intimacy of a life so intertwined with the land. We have forgotten what it means to wake each morning to the whisper of wind through grass, to feel the warmth of the sun not as a distant light, but as a companion in every task, to measure time not by clocks and calendars, but by the budding of leaves and the first frost of autumn. Yet for the Native American peoples, this was life, a life of careful balance, where the bounty of the earth was matched by the humility of knowing that everything could change in a moment. It was a life that required constant attention and gentle stewardship, where every footstep was guided by the knowledge that the land was both provider and teacher, and that to thrive here was to understand that you were never truly alone. As you breathe in and out, imagine the crisp scent of pine sap on a cool morning, the low rumble of thunder across distant hills, the soft rustle of deer moving through tall grass at dusk. In the world of the Native Americans, every sense was engaged in the quiet conversation with the land, and every action, no matter how small, was a prayer of gratitude and respect. Let this vision cradle you as you drift deeper into sleep, the rich textures of these ancient landscapes weaving a lullaby of memory and wonder. And remember, to live even a single day in this world was to accept the challenge of endless curiosity and quiet courage, a challenge that many of us have long since forgotten. So rest now, knowing that these stories still echo in the earth beneath your feet, waiting for those who pause to listen. As you settle deeper under the weight of your blankets, let your imagination wander to the gentle rhythm of daily life in a Native American community, where each moment was part of a larger dance between the earth and its people. In these villages and camps, every day began with the soft light of dawn, the first pale rays of the sun brushing across the sleeping land and waking the world to life. Morning was a time of quiet purpose, as the smoke from small cooking fires rose into the sky, carrying the scent of cedar and sweetgrass and the promise of the day ahead. Women moved gracefully through the early light, tending to the fires and preparing the morning meal, stirring pots of cornmeal mush or wild rice, grinding dried berries into a sweet paste, or gently coaxing embers to life with breath and patient hands. Men readied their tools and weapons for the tasks ahead, checking the sharpness of their arrowheads or the strength of their fishing lines, their eyes scanning the horizon for the first signs of movement in the fields or forests beyond. Children, their laughter a bright note in the cool air, scampered to collect kindling, fetch water from the river, or help with the tasks that would teach them the skills of their people. These small chores were not burdens, but a vital part of the day's unfolding, each action an offering to the community and to the land that sustained them. As the sun rose higher, the village or camp would come alive with the hum of activity, each person moving in quiet cooperation, their steps guided by traditions older than memory. Women worked together in small groups, weaving baskets from river reeds, tanning hides into soft leather, or sewing intricate beadwork onto clothing that would tell the story of their families and their tribes. Men ventured into the woods or onto the plains, hunting deer or bison, fishing the clear rivers, or setting traps for small game. Every movement calculated, every choice a matter of survival and respect. Elders, their faces weathered by years of sun and wind, watched over the children and shared stories that carried the wisdom of generations, their voices low and steady as they passed down the songs and teachings that tied the people to the earth and to each other. In the heat of midday, there might be a pause for rest, a moment to sit in the shade of a tree or by the cool water of a stream, to share a meal of dried fish or sweet berries, and let the breeze carry away the sweat of honest labor. The world slowed in these hours. The gentle hush of cicadas, or the soft murmur of the wind through the grass, a reminder that life was not a race, but a careful unfolding. Each moment, a chance to notice the beauty of the world around you. In the late afternoon, the work resumed as the light softened and the shadows grew long, the rhythm of the day carrying the people into evening with the same quiet determination that had guided them since sunrise. And as the sun dipped below the horizon and the sky blazed with the colors of sunset, the village gathered again, sharing the fruits of their labor around the glow of the fire, their laughter and songs weaving together like the threads of a blanket. Night was a time for reflection and rest, for stories that shaped dreams and songs that carried the spirit of the people into the night sky. In this world, each day was a small journey, a thread in the larger tapestry of life that stretched back through generations and forward into the future. And for those who were not born to this life, who did not learn its quiet rhythms and its deep wisdom, even a single day could be a daunting test of endurance and humility, a reminder that the earth gives only to those who listen and who give in return. Let this vision of daily life cradle you as you drift into sleep, each soft detail a step deeper into the world of those who knew that life was not about conquering the land, but about living in gentle balance with it. Rest now, and let the stories of the past become the dreams of your night. As you drift even deeper into the soft cocoon of sleep, let your mind wander to the heart of every Native American community. The shared warmth of a cooking fire, the rich sense of meals prepared with patience and care, and the comforting rhythm of gathering and sharing food that nourished both body and spirit. Food was never merely a matter of sustenance. It was a sacred connection to the land and to the ancestors who had taught each generation how to find, prepare, and honor the gifts of the earth. In the dense forests of the Northeast, women moved with practiced grace through the trees, their baskets woven from river reeds brimming with berries, nuts, and tender shoots, each step a dance of gratitude and gentle stewardship. They gathered sweet maple sap in the spring, boiling it down over low fires until it became the rich syrup that sweetened their meals, a slow, patient process that mirrored the steady flow of the seasons themselves. In the sun-drenched clearings, they tended fields of corn, beans, and squash. The three sisters, whose intertwined roots fed the soil as surely as they fed the people, each plant a companion to the others, each harvest a testament to the power of working together in harmony. Farther west, where the plains stretched wide beneath the endless sky, hunters set out at dawn, their footsteps silent in the dew-damp grass, to follow the herds of bison whose thunderous migration fed not just the stomach, but the soul of the people. The hunt was an act of reverence, every arrow released with a prayer, every part of the animal used with care. Meat roasted over open fires, hides tanned for clothing and shelter, sinew woven into strong bowstrings. In the deserts of the Southwest, families gathered in the cool shade of adobe homes to grind cornmeal on stone metates, the rhythmic scraping of stone on stone, a meditation that connected them to centuries of ancestors who had turned these simple grains into life itself. There, in the dry heat of midday, the scent of roasting squash and the sharp tang of chili peppers filled the air, the bright colors of their meals a reflection of the vibrant world around them. In each community, food was prepared with patience and intention, every meal a quiet ceremony that honored the cycles of the earth and the hands that brought each ingredient to life. Cooking fires burned low and steady, their warmth a gathering place for family and friends, where stories were shared as pots of stew bubbled gently, and the sweet, smoky scent of roasted game drifted on the night breeze. Children learned from their mothers and grandmothers, their small hands clumsy at first, but growing sure with each passing season, until they too could coax the rich flavors of the earth into meals that fed not just the body, but the spirit of the people. And when the meal was ready, it was shared freely, a reminder that no one stood alone in this world, that every bite was a link in the chain of community that held them all together. For those of us used to supermarkets and stoves, fast food, and takeout containers, it is almost impossible to grasp the patience, the skill, and the deep knowledge that went into each simple dish. The countless hours of gathering, hunting, and tending that brought a single meal to the table. Even the smallest task, grinding corn, drying berries, smoking fish over a low fire, required strength, dedication, and a deep understanding of the land's rhythms and gifts. To spend even a day living by these ancient methods would be to step back into a world where food was more than just fuel. It was a living expression of gratitude, a bridge between the people and the earth that gave them life. Let this vision of warmth and quiet abundance carry you deeper into sleep. Each gentle detail a thread in the larger tapestry of life that stretches back through generations of hands that shaped and shared the earth's gifts. In this world, each meal was a moment of grace and connection, a testament to the quiet power of patience and the simple joy of sharing a meal with those you love. As you drift deeper into the calming darkness of your room, let your mind wander to the gentle rustle of fabric and the soft warmth of hand-tanned leather, the simple beauty of clothing that was both practical and a reflection of the people's spirit. In Native American communities, every garment was made with care and reverence, each stitch a testament to skill, patience, and respect for the gifts of the natural world. Clothing was never just about protection from the elements. It was a living expression of the land's abundance and the hands that shaped it. In the icy forests of the north, warm cloaks were sewn from the soft furs of animals whose spirits were honored in every hunt, the pelts carefully cured and shaped to hold back the bite of winter winds. In the sun-baked plains, where the summer heat could be as relentless as the winter's cold, light garments of deerskin or bison hide shielded the people from the sun's fierce glare, the supple leather cool against the skin and as durable as the lives of those who wore it. In the deserts of the Southwest, bright cotton and yucca fibers were spun into tunics and skirts, dyed with the vibrant reds of crushed cochineal, the warm yellows of desert marigold, each color a song of the earth's quiet gifts. Women, their hands strong and sure, worked with bone needles and sinew thread to sew each garment, shaping it to fit the life and movement of the wearer, the swift run of a hunter, the careful bend of a gatherer, the gentle sway of a dancer moving to the rhythm of the drums. Beads of bone, shell, and stone were sewn into patterns that told stories of family and clan. Each row a careful memory that connected the present to the past. Feathers, taken with reverence from eagles and hawks, adorned hair and clothing, their soft rustle a constant reminder of the spirits that watched over the people. In some tribes, quills from porcupines were dyed in vivid hues and woven into elaborate designs, their bright patterns a testament to the artistry and patience of those who knew how to turn the land's smallest gifts into quiet beauty. Even the simplest garment, a soft pair of moccasins, stitched from the hide of a deer whose spirit had been honored with a prayer, was a work of quiet skill and careful attention, each piece cut and shaped to fit the foot like a second skin, protecting the wearer from the sharp stones and hidden thorns of the earth. Adornments, too, carried a deeper meaning. Each necklace or bracelet a story of family ties and tribal identity, of dreams and memories woven together with bone beads and strands of sinew. In every community, the art of clothing was passed down through generations, from grandmother to mother to daughter, each young girl learning how to shape the world's gifts into something that would not just shield the body, but speak to the spirit. For those of us who have never felt the weight of a bison robe across our shoulders, or the soft caress of a beaded collar against the throat, it is hard to imagine the patience and deep knowledge that went into each garment, the hours of quiet labor and the silent conversations between hand and material. And yet, in this world, even the smallest detail mattered. The curve of a seam that would not chafe against the skin on a long journey, the bright bead that would catch the light of the fire and bring a smile in the cold darkness of winter. Let this vision of quiet artistry and patient hands cradle you as you sink deeper into sleep. Each stitch a heartbeat of the past, echoing softly through the darkness. In the world of the Native Americans, clothing was never just clothing. It was a living expression of who they were and how they saw the world. A gentle reminder that even the simplest act of making could be an offering of beauty and gratitude. So rest now, wrapped in the soft dreams of buckskin and beadwork, the soft hum of memory and tradition weaving through the stillness of the night. As you drift even deeper into the hush of night, let your thoughts wander to the quiet art of tools and craftsmanship that sustained Native American communities, where every object, no matter how humble, carried with it the wisdom of countless generations. In this world, nothing was wasted, and nothing was created without purpose. Each tool shaped with patient hands, each blade and basket a testament to the careful balance between necessity and beauty. In the dense forests of the Northeast, men shaped stone axes and adzes from flint and granite, chipping away at rough blocks until the edges were sharp enough to fell trees or carve canoes from mighty trunks. The sound of stone striking stone, the slow rhythm of shaping and smoothing, was a song of patience and skill, echoing softly through the forest like the gentle murmur of a brook. In the wide plains, where the buffalo roamed in thunderous herds, every part of the animal was put to use. Bone awls for piercing leather, sinew for lashing arrowheads to shafts, hide stretched and smoked into watertight containers that could carry the precious bounty of a hunt across long distances. Farther west, in the dry deserts of the Southwest, potters shaped clay gathered from riverbeds into vessels that seemed to sing in the firelight, their smooth curves decorated with the sacred symbols of sun and rain, each swirl of paint a prayer for balance and harmony. Women wove baskets from willow and sumac, the supple branches bending beneath their fingers to form tight coils that could carry water or grain, each weave a quiet conversation with the earth. The baskets, like the pottery, were more than containers. They were vessels of memory, each pattern a story, each curve a gentle echo of the land that gave them life. In the cold, rugged mountain valleys, where the Shoshone and Ute followed the elk and deer through the shifting seasons, craftsmen shaped bows from the flexible wood of yew and ash, their smooth limbs polished to a soft glow that seemed to catch the light of the sun. Every arrow, tipped with carefully knapped stone and fletched with feathers, was a delicate balance of weight and flight, a small marvel of engineering that could bring down a deer or a rabbit with silent precision. Even the simplest tool, a bone needle, a stone scraper, a wooden digging stick, was shaped with care and respect, each one a quiet prayer to the spirits of the earth that had given up their gifts. For those of us who live in a world of factory-made goods and disposable tools, It is almost impossible to imagine the deep intimacy between hand and material that shaped these objects, the quiet conversations that took place with each stroke of stone against stone, each twist of fiber, each careful bend of a bow. These tools were not just things. They were living reminders of the delicate balance between need and gratitude, between the gifts of the earth and the work of the hands that shaped them. To hold one of these ancient tools is to feel the weight of time itself, the patient wisdom of those who understood that even the smallest task, done with care and intention, could become an offering to the spirits of the land. Let this vision of quiet craftsmanship and gentle purpose cradle you as you sink deeper into sleep. Each smooth stone and polished wood a soft echo of the world that once was. In the world of the Native Americans, every tool was a bridge between the earth and the people, a humble but beautiful testament to the enduring dance of survival and gratitude. Rest now, and let the steady rhythm of shaping and making weave its quiet lullaby around you, carrying you deeper into the dreams of those who knew that to shape the world with your hands was to become a part of its quiet heartbeat. As the soft darkness of night wraps around you like a blanket, let your mind wander to the homes that sheltered Native American communities, each one a quiet testament to the deep bond between people and the earth that sustained them. In every region, shelters rose from the landscape with a quiet grace, shaped by hands that understood the rhythms of the land and the gentle balance of giving and taking. In the dense woodlands of the Northeast, families lived in longhouses built from the tall, straight trunks of young trees, their curved roofs covered with sheets of bark that rustled softly in the breeze. These longhouses stretched like gentle spines across the forest floor, each one home to several families, their shared walls echoing with laughter and song, the smell of wood smoke drifting up to mingle with the scent of pine and earth. Here, the hearth was the heart of the home, the warm glow of the fire, a gathering place where stories flowed like water, and the old songs wove a tapestry of memory that tied each person to the next. On the open plains, where the horizon seemed to stretch out forever, the teepee rose like a quiet prayer to the sky, its poles lashed together with sinew and covered in carefully prepared buffalo hides that turned warm gold in the light of dawn. These homes were light enough to carry, but strong enough to stand against the fierce winds of the prairie, each one a perfect balance of form and function, designed to be raised and taken down with the gentle precision of those who understood that life was a journey, not a destination. In the hot, dry deserts of the Southwest, the adobe homes of the Pueblo people stood cool and quiet against the sun, their thick walls of mud and straw absorbing the heat of the day and releasing it slowly into the coolness of the night. These homes, stacked in graceful tiers against the red cliffs and canyons, seemed to grow from the earth itself, each doorway a threshold between the cool darkness inside and the bright, burning sky beyond. In the forests and river valleys of the Northwest, the plank houses of the coastal tribes rose from the damp earth like the trunks of ancient trees, their broad beams split from cedar logs and carved with the faces of the spirits that watched over the people. Here, the rain drummed gently on the cedar roofs, the soft patter of water a lullaby that carried the people through the long, wet winters. Each home, whether teepee or longhouse, adobe dwelling or plank house, was more than just shelter. It was a living expression of the people's relationship with the land, a gentle echo of the seasons and the spirits that shaped each place. For those of us who sleep in square rooms of wood and brick, warmed by the steady hum of central heating and cooled by machines that hum through the night, it is almost impossible to imagine the quiet intimacy of these homes, the way the walls seemed to breathe with the turning of the seasons, the soft glow of the hearth, a reminder that even the coldest winter could be warmed by the laughter of family and the gentle crackle of fire. In these shelters, each breath of wind and each shifting shadow was a part of the life of the home, a quiet conversation between the people and the earth that cradled them. Let this vision of warmth and quiet resilience carry you deeper into sleep, each woven mat and carved beam a whisper of the past, a lullaby that speaks of homes built not just with hands, but with hearts that understood the quiet strength of belonging. In the world of the Native Americans, a home was never just a place to sleep. It was a living presence, a guardian of memory and hope, a testament to the simple truth that to build a home was to build a bridge between the earth and the spirit. Rest now, and let the soft hush of these ancient shelters guide you deeper into the dreams of those who knew that home is not a place, but a quiet promise that you are never truly alone. As the night deepens and the gentle weight of sleep settles over you, let your thoughts drift to the quiet heart of Native American life, the spiritual practices and beliefs that shaped every breath, every moment, and every step. In this world, there was no separation between the sacred and the everyday. Every stone, every river, every living creature was part of a larger tapestry of spirit that wove the people together with the land. The songs of the wind in the trees were more than mere sounds. They were the voices of ancestors, whispering guidance and stories that had echoed through countless generations. The rivers carried more than water. They carried the memories of those who had walked their banks and the spirits that danced in the moonlit ripples. In every corner of this world, ceremonies were held, not just in times of need, but as a constant rhythm that honored the cycles of the seasons and the quiet miracles of life itself. The sweat lodge, warm and dark beneath the stars, was a place of cleansing and rebirth, where the hot stones hissed with the prayers of those who had come to find balance within themselves and with the world beyond. The air inside was thick with the scent of sage and cedar, the gentle beat of the water on the stones a heartbeat that carried away the dust of the world outside. In the deep forests of the north, the drum echoed like the thunder of distant storms, its steady beat a bridge between the earth and the sky, the seen and the unseen. Each dancer moved in time with the drum, their feet tracing the patterns of the spirits in the soft earth, their voices rising in songs that carried the hopes and dreams of the people into the night. In the sun-drenched canyons of the Southwest, the kivas of the Pueblo people were cool sanctuaries from the heat of the day, the soft glow of firelight flickering on the painted walls, where stories of creation and renewal came to life in quiet shadows. Here, the people gathered in a circle that had no beginning and no end, their prayers and songs weaving a tapestry of harmony that echoed through the quiet stone chambers. The Vision Quest, too, was a journey of spirit, a solitary walk into the wilderness to seek the guidance of the spirits that danced in the clouds and the stones, the wind and the stars. Wrapped in the quiet of the night, the seeker would sit in the cool darkness of a mountain cave or the warm embrace of the desert, fasting and praying until the visions came, carrying the soft voices of the spirits and the bright images of the soul's true path. For those who lived by these rhythms, the world was never silent or empty. It was alive with the soft hum of spirit, the gentle breath of the ancestors that lingered in every rock and every blade of grass. And yet, for those of us who have forgotten how to listen, who measure time by the ticking of clocks and the hum of machines, it is almost impossible to imagine the quiet power of these ceremonies, the way they wove the people together into a single breath, a single heartbeat that echoed the soft rhythm of the earth itself. Let this vision of sacred balance and quiet reverence cradle you as you sink deeper into sleep, each soft song and whispered prayer a gentle promise that the world is alive with spirit, waiting only for you to listen. In the world of the Native Americans, the sacred was not a place set apart. It was the gentle hush of the forest at dawn, the bright flash of a hawk's wing in the sky, the soft murmur of water beneath the ice. Rest now, and let the dreams of spirit and story weave their gentle magic around you, carrying you deeper into the night's embrace. As the gentle darkness wraps you in its comforting stillness, let your mind wander further into the rich tapestry of Native American spiritual practices and beliefs, where every breath and every heartbeat was an offering to the spirits of the earth and sky. In this world, the sacred was not hidden away in distant temples or locked behind stone walls. It was as close as the whisper of the wind through the grass, as near as the warmth of the sun on your skin. The ceremonies and rituals that shaped daily life were living bridges between the seen and the unseen, woven from songs and stories that reached back through countless generations. In the quiet hours of dawn, when the first light touched the world with gentle gold, the morning songs rose like soft prayers, offered in gratitude for the gift of another day. The people knew that the sun itself was a powerful spirit, a bringer of warmth and life, whose journey across the sky was a story of endless renewal. In the soft twilight of evening, the smoke of the sacred fire curled upward, carrying the prayers of the people to the spirits that watched over them in the darkness. The fire, like the people, was alive, its gentle crackle a reminder of the warmth that held the night at bay, its bright glow a promise that even in the deepest darkness, there is always light. The medicine people, whose quiet wisdom guided the community, listened to the gentle hum of the world, interpreting the dreams and visions that came in the still hours of the night. With feathers and stones, herbs and songs, they wove healing and balance from the gifts of the earth, their hands moving with a quiet grace that spoke of deep trust in the rhythms of life. In every ceremony, whether the quiet blessing of a new child, the solemn farewell of a passing elder, or the joyful dance of a harvest feast, there was a gentle understanding that the world was a circle where each life was part of a larger whole, each breath a note in the song of existence. Farther north, in the icy lands of the Inuit, the songs of the shaman rose in the flickering glow of whale oil lamps, their voices carrying stories of the spirits of the sea and the land, whose breath shaped the ice and whose laughter danced in the northern lights. In the warm deserts of the southwest, the dry hush of the night was filled with the soft murmur of prayer sticks and the bright flash of painted faces moving in the moonlight. each step a quiet offering to the spirits that guarded the water and the harvest. And yet, these practices were not static. They were as alive as the people who carried them forward, shaped by the changing seasons and the shifting needs of each generation. The spirits were not distant gods to be worshipped from afar, but living presences that walked beside the people in every moment. Their laughter in the bubbling of a stream, their tears in the gentle fall of rain. For those of us who have forgotten how to see the world as alive with spirit, it can be hard to understand the quiet power of these beliefs, the way they wove every moment of life into something sacred, something bright and beautiful, even in the hardest of times. Let this vision of soft prayers and gentle songs carry you deeper into the quiet of the night, each breath a gentle echo of the world's spirit, each heartbeat a step on the path of balance and harmony. In the world of the Native Americans, the sacred was not something to be found, it was something to be lived. A quiet promise that the earth itself was a teacher and a friend, a guardian and a guide. Rest now, and let the dreams of the spirits wrap around you like the softest blanket, carrying you into the hush of night where every star is a story and every shadow a song. As night deepens and your breathing slows into a gentle rhythm, let your mind drift to the quiet world of Native American food and agriculture, a world where every seed was a gift and every harvest a blessing. Long before modern farms and supermarkets, Native American communities nurtured the earth with profound respect, understanding that the soil was alive, breathing beneath their hands, holding stories of seasons past and promises of seasons yet to come. The story of food began with the three sisters, corn, beans, and squash, a trio of plants that grew together in harmony, each one supporting the other in a quiet dance of nature. Corn stood tall and proud, its sturdy stalks reaching toward the sky, offering a living trellis for the climbing beans, whose twisting vines wrapped gently around the corn's strong frame. Beneath the soil, the sprawling squash leaves spread wide like green blankets, shading the earth and keeping the moisture close, while their prickly vines kept hungry animals at bay. This ancient partnership, cultivated over thousands of years, was more than just agriculture. It was a symbol of balance, cooperation, and the deep wisdom of living in tune with the land. The seeds were treated with reverence, often carried carefully from one generation to the next, each kernel a piece of living history, a small miracle waiting to sprout in the springtime sun. In the warm river valleys and fertile floodplains, communities built intricate irrigation systems, channeling water with careful precision to coax the earth into abundance. The fields were not vast industrial plots, but vibrant gardens, alive with the soft buzz of bees and the gentle hum of wind moving through the leaves. Wild plants, too, were gathered with care, berries that burst with sweet juice, roots hidden beneath the forest floor, nuts tucked inside prickly husks. Each gathered gift, a quiet blessing from the earth. The hunt complemented the harvest, bringing the meat of deer, elk, and smaller animals to the table, while fish were caught from rivers and lakes with nets woven from plant fibers, their movements silent beneath the water's surface. Cooking was a gentle ritual, stone hearths and clay ovens warmed by fire, pots made from the earth itself holding stews thick with vegetables, grains, and the tenderest cuts of meat. Food was shared, not just to satisfy hunger, but to strengthen bonds, to honor the spirits of the animals and plants that gave their lives. Every meal was a moment of gratitude, a quiet celebration of the delicate balance that made life possible. For those of us who are used to fast food and hurried meals, it's almost impossible to imagine the slow rhythms of planting, harvesting, and preparing food with such care and respect. The way every bite was connected to the earth and the stories of those who came before. Let this vision of gentle gardens and quiet fields soothe you as you sink deeper into sleep. The soft rustle of leaves and the distant call of a bird carrying you into dreams of abundance and balance. In the world of the Native Americans, food was never just sustenance. It was a sacred gift, a thread that wove people together with the land and with each other in a gentle, enduring embrace. Rest now, and let the peaceful spirit of the harvest cradle you in its quiet warmth. As the night deepens, and your mind drifts in the quiet glow of moonlight, let your thoughts continue to wander through the rich world of Native American food and agriculture, where every meal was a story, and every harvest a living connection between the people and the land that sustained them. Beyond the three sisters, corn, beans, and squash, there were countless other plants and foods carefully cultivated and gathered with reverence, each one adding a note to the complex symphony of nourishment that sustained communities across the continent. In the rich soils of the Pacific Northwest, the bounty of salmon runs was as vital as the fertile earth, where people built fish weirs and traps that guided the silver flashes upstream, honoring the cycles of the river and the fish with rituals and gratitude. The salmon was more than food. It was a symbol of life's renewal, its flesh nourishing both body and spirit, its bones used in tools, and its spirit honored in song. In the arid Southwest, the agave plant provided sweet nectar, fibers for weaving, and even the heart of the plant was roasted to bring forth sustenance from the desert. Wild berries and nuts were gathered in the forests and meadows, their seasons carefully observed so that the harvest would be plentiful and sustainable year after year. Root vegetables like camas and wild onions were dug from the earth with digging sticks, the simple act of gathering a quiet dance between human and nature, a reminder that life depends on patience and respect. The art of drying and smoking food preserved these gifts for the long winters and journeys, turning fresh meat and fish into durable stores of energy that could travel far beyond the home village. The process was slow and careful, the smoke rising in thin spirals as a prayer of thanks for the animals and plants whose lives were given to sustain the people. Communal feasts marked the turning of the seasons and the success of the harvest, bringing together families and clans to share stories, dances, and songs that echoed through the night. These gatherings were more than celebrations. They were acts of renewal, moments when the bonds of community were strengthened and the stories of survival and gratitude were passed down to the youngest ears. For those of us accustomed to the rush of modern life, where meals are often hurried and disconnected from their origins, it is a quiet comfort to imagine the slow, deliberate rhythms of planting, harvesting, preparing, and sharing food that honor the earth and all its creatures. In this world, food was a sacred trust, a promise between the people and the land, a cycle that turned through seasons and generations with gentle grace. Let this vision of rivers, fields, and forests filled with life and abundance carry you deeper into sleep, each breath a quiet echo of the earth's generosity. In the Native American world, nourishment was not just physical, it was spiritual, a binding thread woven through the fabric of everyday life, a gentle reminder that to live well is to live in harmony with the world around you. Rest now, and let the peaceful spirit of the harvest and the river lull you into the soft embrace of night, where every seed planted is a hope, and every meal shared is a song of gratitude. As the quiet night deepens and your mind begins to slip further into the gentle waves of sleep, let your thoughts turn to the timeless world of Native American art and storytelling, a world where every color, every shape, and every word carried the weight of history, spirit, and memory. In this realm, art was never created for mere decoration. It was a living language, a way to preserve the stories of ancestors, to honor the spirits, and to pass wisdom across generations. From the intricate beadwork that adorned clothing and ceremonial regalia, to the delicate pottery painted with symbols of the sun, water, and animals, every piece was a message whispered through time. In the Great Plains, tribes like the Lakota and Cheyenne decorated their hides with bold geometric patterns and scenes of buffalo hunts, each brush stroke a tribute to the sacred bond between people and the vast herds that roamed the land. These images were not static pictures, but vibrant stories, stories of bravery, survival, and respect, etched into leather with natural pigments made from crushed minerals and plants, colors that seemed to glow softly in the firelight. Far to the west, among the tribes of the Pacific Northwest, towering totem poles carved from cedar trees told stories of family lineage and clan spirits, their faces carved in dramatic relief, each expression capturing a piece of ancestral history. These poles, standing tall against the backdrop of dense forests and misty fjords, were both art and monument, a public record of identity and myth. The intricate designs were created with painstaking care, the wood softened and shaped with tools honed from stone, bone, and later metal, and painted with vibrant natural dyes that resisted the damp coastal air. Storytelling, too, was a sacred act, a living performance that held the community together. Around fires that flickered softly beneath the night sky, elders spoke in voices low and steady, weaving tales of creation, of the great spirits who shaped the earth, of heroes who faced impossible challenges with courage and humility. These stories were never simply entertainment. They were lessons wrapped in mystery and magic, reminders of the values that held the people together: respect for nature, the importance of bravery, the power of kindness, and the delicate balance of life itself. The words rose and fell like the breath of the earth, the pauses and inflections carrying meaning as deep as the stories themselves. For the children gathered close, these tales were a doorway to a world where animals spoke, stars danced, and the mountains themselves held memories waiting to be unlocked. Every story was a gift, passed from one voice to another, a thread that stitched the past and present into a single tapestry. Even the silent art of pottery or weaving was a story told without words, each pattern a symbol, each color a message, each shape a prayer. The process of creating these objects was itself a ritual, a time when the artist became a conduit for the ancestors, the earth, and the spirits. As you imagine these scenes, the soft crackle of fire and the warm glow of lamplight, let the quiet power of art and story carry you deeper into your own dreams. In the Native American world, art and storytelling were not separate from life. They were life itself, a sacred dance of memory and imagination, a gentle reminder that every person carries the stories of those who came before and the dreams of those yet to come. Rest now, and let these stories and images wrap around you like a soft blanket, guiding you gently into the peaceful night where every shape and every word is alive with meaning. As the night deepens around you, let your thoughts linger in the quiet realm of Native American art and storytelling, where every whispered legend and painted symbol carries the breath of ancestors and the pulse of the earth itself. Storytelling was not simply a way to pass time. It was a sacred, living tradition that connected the past to the present, weaving together lessons of survival, respect, and the mysteries of the world. Around the firelight, voices rose and fell, like the gentle rhythm of the natural world, each tale a thread in the vast tapestry of history and spirit. In many tribes, storytelling was a communal event, with elders guiding the young through the complexities of their heritage, teaching through parables and mythic narratives that shaped identity and morality. The stories told of great floods and heroic journeys, of animals who transformed into humans and humans who became stars, each carrying hidden meanings and truths that could only be fully understood by those who listened with both heart and mind. The words were often accompanied by songs and dances, gestures that brought the stories to life and allowed the listeners to experience the tale in their bodies as well as their imaginations. Alongside storytelling, art took many forms, from the painted robes and intricate beadwork to the carved pipes and ceremonial masks. Each artifact was more than an object, was a vessel of meaning and memory. The colors used in paintings and textiles were chosen carefully, often derived from natural pigments made from minerals, plants, and earth, imbuing the art with the spirit of the land itself. Symbols repeated across generations carried layers of meaning. The circle representing the cycles of life, the thunderbird embodying power and protection, the spiral echoing the endless journey of the soul. In the Southwest, the pottery of the Pueblo peoples was renowned not only for its beauty, but for its deep symbolic language, with patterns that told stories of rain, fertility, and the balance between humans and nature. The act of creating these works was a form of prayer, a meditative practice where the artist communicated with ancestors and the spiritual forces that shaped their world. The rhythm of the potter's hands shaping clay was a quiet dialogue between the earth and the soul. Even the tattoos and body paint worn in ceremonies were forms of storytelling, marking rites of passage and connecting the individual to their clan and spiritual guides. These traditions were not static. They evolved with the people, adapting to new circumstances while preserving the core values and teachings that had been passed down through countless generations. For those of us who live in a world dominated by screens and fleeting images, it is a soothing thought to imagine the slow, deliberate art of storytelling and creation, where each word and each brushstroke carried weight and meaning. Let this vision of fireside tales and painted symbols lull you further into the quiet of night, each story a gentle whisper from the past, each artwork a silent prayer. In the Native American world, art and storytelling were not merely pastimes, but sacred acts. Ways to keep memory alive, to honor the spirits, and to teach the lessons of life, love, and respect. Rest now wrapped in the soft glow of this ancient tradition, carried on the wings of stories and colors, drifting gently into the peace of sleep. As the calm night deepens and your thoughts grow slower, imagine stepping softly into the rhythms of Native American social structures and community life, where every person found their place in a delicate web of relationships that stretched across families, clans, and tribes. Unlike the hurried, fragmented world many of us know today, these communities thrived on deep connections, rooted in respect, responsibility, and the understanding that no one lived alone. At the heart of many tribes was the clan system, a way of organizing society that linked people by kinship and shared ancestry, often traced through either the mother's or father's line, depending on the tribe. Clans were more than just family groups. They were the threads that held the social fabric together, creating bonds of obligation, support, and identity. Each clan had its own symbols, stories, and sometimes unique roles within the tribe, such as healers, warriors, or peacekeepers. These roles were not rigid boxes, but fluid parts of a living whole, shaped by individual talents and communal needs. The elders, revered for their wisdom and experience, played a crucial role in guiding decisions, resolving conflicts, and preserving the history and traditions that gave the tribe its strength and continuity. Their voices carried the weight of generations, their stories and counsel a steady light in the ever-changing flow of life. Leadership structures varied widely among tribes. Some were led by chiefs whose authority came from their ability to inspire and serve, rather than through force or inheritance, while others followed councils where decisions were made collectively and through consensus. This approach to leadership emphasized balance and harmony, recognizing that true strength came from listening to many voices and working together for the good of all. Social gatherings and ceremonies were vital to maintaining these bonds, offering moments when people could come together to celebrate, mourn, and renew their sense of belonging. From seasonal festivals to rites of passage, each event was a thread weaving the community closer, a reminder that the individual was part of something larger and enduring. The sharing of food, stories, and songs during these times reinforced the values of generosity and reciprocity, encouraging a spirit of cooperation and mutual care that was essential to survival in sometimes harsh environments. Gender roles, too, were shaped by practicality and respect, often allowing for a range of expressions and responsibilities rather than strict divisions. Women frequently held important roles as farmers, gatherers, and caretakers, while men often took on hunting and defense. But these were not fixed categories. In many tribes, women could become leaders, healers, and warriors, their influence woven deeply into the social and spiritual life of the community. Children were raised collectively, learning from many elders and adults, absorbing the stories, skills, and values that would guide them through life. The pace of life was slower, more deliberate, attuned to the cycles of nature rather than the ticking of a clock. Let this vision of connectedness and shared purpose soothe you as you drift deeper into sleep, each breath a reminder of the quiet power of community and the gentle strength of belonging. In the world of Native American societies, life was not a solitary journey, but a shared path, where every step was taken with respect for the past and hope for the future. Rest now, cradled in the warmth of these enduring bonds, wrapped in the soft embrace of kinship and care. As the night wraps around you like a soft blanket, let your thoughts continue to wander gently through the intricate social structures and community life of Native American tribes, where every relationship was a thread in a vast, interconnected web of trust, responsibility, and respect. In these communities, the idea of self was deeply intertwined with the well-being of the whole, a quiet understanding that each person's actions rippled outward to affect family, clan, and tribe. Many tribes organized their society around kinship ties, not just through immediate family, but through extended networks that included cousins, aunts, uncles, and more distant relatives, all part of a living system that supported one another in times of need and celebration alike. The clan system, prominent in many tribes such as the Cherokee, Navajo, and Iroquois, was a central organizing principle, assigning roles and responsibilities that ensured the tribe's harmony and survival. These clans often carried symbolic animals or natural elements as totems, representing qualities admired and upheld by the group, like the bear for strength or the eagle for vision. Beyond kinship, social life included a rich tapestry of ceremonies and rituals that marked important life stages: birth, coming of age, marriage, and death, each a communal event that reinforced identity and belonging. These ceremonies were imbued with deep meaning and often included dances, songs, and feasts that brought everyone together in a shared expression of joy, grief, and hope. Leadership in many Native American societies was earned through wisdom, generosity, and courage rather than inherited titles or wealth, reflecting a communal value that prioritized service over power. Chiefs and elders acted as guides and mediators, helping the community navigate challenges and make decisions through consensus rather than command. The notion of consensus was vital. It required listening with patience and respect to different voices, seeking solutions that honored the needs of all rather than the desires of a few. This approach nurtured social cohesion and minimized conflict, allowing communities to adapt and thrive even in difficult circumstances. Gender roles in these societies were often flexible and varied widely among tribes, shaped more by practical needs and individual strengths than rigid expectations. Women's roles extended beyond domestic tasks. Many were skilled farmers, artisans, and leaders, wielding considerable influence in social and political spheres. Men were commonly hunters and warriors, but also participated in ceremonies and caregiving, blurring the lines that modern societies often impose. In some tribes, two-spirit people, those who embodied both masculine and feminine qualities, held special roles as healers, mediators, and spiritual leaders, their unique identities respected and valued within the community. The communal raising of children was another pillar of Native American social life, where knowledge and values were passed down, not only from parents, but from the wider community. Children were encouraged to observe, listen, and learn from the elders, and were often taught through stories, games, and hands-on experience rather than formal schooling. The rhythm of daily life followed the cycles of nature: planting and harvesting, hunting and gathering, preparing for winter, all activities that required cooperation and shared effort. As you settle deeper into rest, imagine the quiet strength of these communities, bound by invisible threads of kinship and care, where each person knew their place and felt valued. The gentle cadence of communal life offers a soothing reminder that we are never truly alone, that our lives are woven into the larger fabric of family, tribe, and earth itself. Rest now in this peaceful vision of connection and belonging, where the pulse of community beats softly in the night, guiding you gently into dreams filled with warmth, trust, and shared purpose. As the night gently deepens and your mind begins to float toward restful sleep, imagine yourself stepping quietly into the sacred world of Native American spirituality, where every element of nature breathes with spirit, and every living thing is part of a vast, interconnected web of life. In this sacred worldview, the land is not just a backdrop for human activity, but a living, breathing entity, a mother that nurtures and sustains, a teacher that guides and protects. Mountains, rivers, trees, and animals are not merely physical objects, but sacred beings with whom humans share a profound relationship. For many Native American tribes, spirituality was woven into the very fabric of daily life, not confined to ceremonies or special occasions, but present in every action, every thought, and every breath. The sun's rise and fall, the changing seasons, the cycles of the moon, all marked rhythms of this sacred dance, each moment an opportunity to give thanks, to listen, and to renew. Central to many traditions was the belief in a great spirit, a universal force that animates all things and connects the earth to the sky, the living to the ancestors, and the seen to the unseen. This great spirit was not distant, but close, present in the wind that whispered through the trees, the crackling fire, and the beating heart of the community. Rituals and ceremonies were ways to honor this connection, to align human life with the sacred rhythms of the universe. From the sweat lodge purifications to the sun dance, these ceremonies were deeply symbolic acts of renewal, healing, and community bonding. They often involved fasting, prayer, music, and dance, creating a powerful space where the spiritual and physical worlds could meet. The natural world was a sacred classroom, teaching humility, patience, and respect. Animals were seen as spiritual guides and messengers, each species carrying unique lessons and powers. The eagle soared as a symbol of vision and strength. The buffalo embodied abundance and resilience, and the wolf represented loyalty and community. Many tribes had medicine men and women, healers who understood the language of nature and spirit, using herbs, songs, and rituals to restore balance within individuals and communities. Dreams and visions were highly valued as sources of guidance, often sought through fasting or solitude in nature, offering insights that shaped personal paths and collective decisions. The earth itself was honored through practices like the offering of tobacco, cornmeal, or other gifts. Acts of gratitude that acknowledged the ongoing generosity of the land. This spiritual connection also fostered a deep ethic of environmental stewardship, a commitment to live lightly on the earth and to protect its resources for future generations. For those of us accustomed to the noise and rush of modern life, it is a peaceful comfort to imagine this slow, reverent relationship with nature, a world where every leaf, every breeze, every drop of rain carries meaning and spirit. Let this vision cradle you gently as you drift into sleep, the quiet hum of the natural world wrapping around you like a soft, sacred cloak. In the Native American worldview, spirituality was not separate from life. It was life itself, a continuous thread linking past, present, and future in a sacred circle of respect, gratitude, and harmony. Rest now, wrapped in the gentle embrace of the earth spirit, carried softly into dreams, where the whispers of the wind and the songs of the stars guide you into peaceful slumber. As you sink deeper into the calm of the night, let your mind wander further into the profound spirituality that has long been the heart of Native American life. A spirituality that breathes through the natural world, binding all living things in a sacred dance of balance and respect. In this vision, the world around you is alive with spirit, where every stone, every tree, and every whispering breeze carries a message from the ancestors and the Great Spirit that watches over all creation. This connection to nature was more than reverence. It was a deep understanding that humans are part of the Earth's family, not rulers over it. Many tribes believed that the land itself held memories and stories, and that to live in harmony with nature was to honor the gifts of life and to ensure the continuation of those gifts for generations yet to come. Sacred sites, mountains, caves, rivers, and springs were places where the veil between the physical and spiritual worlds was thin, where prayers and offerings were made to maintain the balance of life. The circle was a powerful symbol in Native American spirituality, representing the cycles of life, the seasons, and the endless flow of time. This circle was reflected in ceremonies, the layout of villages, and even the way individuals lived their lives, always mindful of the interconnectedness of all things. The four directions, north, south, east, and west, held special significance, each associated with different elements, seasons, animals, and spiritual lessons, guiding the people's journey through life. Rituals often began with a prayer to the four winds, acknowledging the gifts and challenges they bring. The act of giving thanks was woven into daily routines. Before a hunt, a meal, or a journey, gratitude was expressed to the animals, plants, and spirits who made life possible. This gratitude was not just words, but actions, offering tobacco, corn, or other sacred items back to the earth as a token of respect and reciprocity. Many Native American ceremonies involved purification through water or fire, recognizing the cleansing power of these natural elements. The sweat lodge, for example, was a space of renewal and healing, where steam and prayer combined to purify body, mind, and spirit. These rituals created a sacred rhythm that connected individuals with their ancestors, their community, and the universe. Vision quests were another vital spiritual practice, a journey of solitude and fasting undertaken to seek guidance, insight, or healing. In the quiet of nature, separated from the comforts of daily life, individuals would open themselves to visions from the spirit world, hoping for messages that would shape their path or bring clarity to a troubled heart. These quests were moments of profound transformation, where the boundaries between the earthly and the sacred dissolved. The role of medicine people, shamans, healers, and spiritual leaders was central in maintaining this balance. These individuals possessed deep knowledge of herbs, rituals, and spiritual traditions, acting as bridges between the human and spirit worlds. They guided the community through healing ceremonies, interpreted dreams and visions, and ensured that the sacred laws of the tribe were honored. In a world increasingly driven by technology and speed, it is calming to imagine this ancient spirituality rooted in patience, listening, and reverence. Let the soft rhythm of this spiritual connection carry you gently deeper into rest, where the voices of the wind and the heartbeat of the earth lull you into peaceful dreams. In the Native American understanding, spirituality is not a distant concept, but a living, breathing reality that surrounds and sustains all life. Rest now, cradled in the sacred circle of the earth's embrace, and drift quietly into sleep with the spirits of the land as your silent companions.